Hi, today is Monday, beginning of a new week. We are no longer hard on ourselves. We are just intentionally working in the direction that is purposeful. Because we have goals, we have visions, we have more mood boards to make a reality, okay? I feel very calm because I had one coffee instead of 3 in the morning and now I'm drinking mint tea. Oh, and before the questions start rolling in, and they have, I'm not fasting for Ramadan anymore because, oh, it's so horrible when I said it. I'm gonna be honest. I've tasted a sprinkle of the lesson I was supposed to get from the experience of fasting and going through struggles while fasting. But I've also got hit with a reward of lots of weakness and sickness and exhaustion from all the things I was doing in the first week, 2 weeks of Ramadan. And I got everything lined up in a way where I couldn't do it physically or mentally. And I'm just, if I do it right now, if I push myself, because I can do lots of things. I could. I would destroy myself. I would take away from myself. I feel like God is like, chill for this year, please. You have done enough. Relax. That's what I feel like God would say. Might just be excuses, you know? My Andrew Tate side of the brain is like, you little, judging me so hard right now, but it's okay. It's okay. I was too weak. This year, I was too weak to do it. But you know what? Next year, I'm praying that I'll be able to be stably staying in a Muslim country where I'll have a community and I'll have a community because everything else I can deal with that. My first week of Ramadan, my last week of Ramadan this year was me running around Paris in heels every day, already sick. I already was sick when it started. I was just neglecting it for a few days while it was getting worse, and I was still doing it. And I was doing waking up for suhoor and not being able to fall asleep. So I was up from 4 a.m. to 1. And then I had like a few hours of was eating and drinking when I could. And in between that, all day I was running around castings in Paris on the tube. Literally, you have one spot in Paris here and you need to be over there for another casting. You have 30 minutes and you're like, okay, this tube, changing to this station, changing to this station. You're running there. You're gonna be pretty, you gotta be skinny, you gotta be not bloated, you gotta be smiley. And this sounds like a lot of complaining. I'm just painting a picture. This is a storytelling situation. Blessed for that, a lot of lessons learned. And so I'm running to all of these castings. And then I have another casting, which I have to stand in line for and then compare myself to all these Russian models around me. And I'm running to another important casting after standing in line in that one and kind of getting it right. Not getting an answer, but it's like, okay, you never know what's going to happen. So maybe I'm running to the next one where I stand in a line. I look at all these Slavic girls and they don't realize that I speak the same languages. Listen to the most brain rot conversations and they're not even aware that I can understand. And I'm just like standing there. Our call time for a show is at 12 and now it's like 11 and I have 30 minutes to get there and I'm not even like in the line to the casting. I'm just like standing there waiting. Everything is so last minute. Like you're always late to something and you can't be late to anything. And you can't look late to anything. You can't look tired. You can't look exhausted. You can't look like you were running. You have to look like you are the supermodel that you are becoming. You have to walk into the venue where the show is after all those failed castings and all those mean faces. And you have to confidently strut there. I'm ready for makeup. As if your Uber just dropped you off and you didn't just change 300 tube stations and calmed yourself down in a public bathroom of a random cafe. That was the third one that you asked if you could change there and they let you and you were just breathing deeply into your belly before going there and being like, hi guys, just another day. What a beautiful show it's gonna be. All of that while fasting and looking amazingly beautiful. And they're all like, oh, do you want me to get you some coffee? I'm fasting. I would love like a drop of liquid of any sort. It was definitely challenging. The more I record for YouTube and like observe myself talk, I understand why people say that I'm autistic because that was a very long hyperfixation on a topic within a conversation that wasn't even supposed to be about this. I wanted to talk about how everyone is a reflection of you and how, all these interactions and fashion weeks and people that I met, how it taught me that every experience that you experience, which mostly I measure my experiences in human interactions because the majority of my life I've spent in isolation. So that's why I measure my success rate in interactions. And let me tell you something. I love being alone and I hate feeling lonely when I'm alone. But I prefer to spend my days not having to explain the weight of my thoughts to anyone, not having to express it even. So I love this form of expression because I can just dump everything that's in there and not have to interact with the response right away. I will reply to those long paragraphs, but I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to watch my expressions. I can just cut it and like sit and stare into a wall for 3 minutes if I feel the need. It's difficult for me. No, it's not difficult for me. I'm very good at socializing, but it's an adaptation strategy. It's draining. It's something that I would rather not do. I'm praying to have 5, okay, let's say like at least 3 solid locked in individuals in my life that I don't have to translate my soul to. And we're so good. And other than that, it's work and colleagues and people that I work with, and I don't have to call them friends, which we obviously are friends. We work every day, but no. I need 3 people that I can be silent with. Or alternatively dump my thoughts in this way too. That would be such a blessing. It's going to be a long video because for some reason I have a lot to say that it's not even centered around the topic, but I have a lot to say in all those different directions around the idea that I want to discuss. So let's just do that. I can let myself do this. You love yaps. Comment if you love Lisa yaps. When you walk into unfamiliar rooms with unfamiliar faces, your body starts not to adapt, but starts to scope the scenery. You're trying to understand where you are. What's the vibe? What's the level of expectation? Like, what is the... when you're meeting a new person, you're trying to put them in a box instantly. Not in a judgmental way, but sort of. Observe models. I'm trying to put them into, like, the stage of experience they're in, what kind of worries they have, what is on their mind at this moment, what is their emotional response to this situation, and that kind of helps me put them into okay, this is a show that has this type of a casting situation, meaning experience is somewhere on this level, not necessarily here. So my response or my level of comfortability around them is somewhere there, depending on what I feel that day. So while interacting with these people with certain level of experience, certain level of aura, certain level of swag, your body is forced to identify with some sort of a level of swag yourself. So where am I on this graph? When you walk into a room, let's disconnect from modeling so it's more relatable for more people. Let's say you're in school and there's this new class and you're walking in there and you know everything. And there are people who are crying over an exam that's in 2 days and you haven't even studied, but it's so chill and easy that you're like, no, I got it. So you walk in there, you listen, you observe, you kind of get acquainted with the social situation there, and you're like, I'm so good, like, I don't even have to. And it's not being cocky. I said Nicki Minaj for you the other day.
I'm just on my grind. Don't get it twisted. Like, it's not even about being cocky. It's just about being real. I'm good at what I do. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I act the way I act. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, if you see me, holla at me. I'm never too ill to say what up. Like, it's not that serious. Trust me, I know that.
I identify as comfortable in this challenge. Instantly can't relate to people who are stressed about this. Not to judge them, not to downgrade their experience or level of aura, but objectively, I'm better. So what can I do to make the most out of this experience and not become worse while spending a whole day within this social interaction? Because what ends up happening in society, like in human nature, you adapt so well that you start becoming what you are surrounded with. It's just what happens. It's very important to be sincere while being humble in order to be able to judge that you are better than most people in this room, because you have to not adapt and become them. You have to adapt and help them. You have to adapt and balance out the imbalance in the group project. You know what I'm saying? You can't outperform where they look horrible. You have to be very intentional with how you place your energy and how you talk. Because you can't be cocky in there and like, oh, I don't care. Because I saw these people as well. I saw people who were either on my level, or because they were shining so bright, I felt like, oh, maybe they're not humble enough for me to say that I'm on their level. Difficult for me to say that someone's better than me, but no, I'm kidding. And they're in the same setting with me, and they're also seeing these same worries and the same chaos and the same misalignment, let's say, in the workplace. And we're observing it, and I see their reaction to it, and they're calm, but not in a way where, okay, let's make this work type of calm. They're calm in a way where they detached from the group project. They're gonna do their job and leave. That's on the cocky side, I would say. Well, anyway, I'm yapping. What I wanted to say is like, everyone is a reflection of you. Whatever you feel when you observe this better than you person who's acting in a nonchalant, I don't care about this group project, I don't care about this show, I don't care about how everyone's gonna look there, I'm just gonna do my job and leave because it's so draining and not on my level. You're observing them. Your reaction to that person, actually their whole behavioral pattern is in you. Because the fact that you're having these thoughts means that you have not just potential in you to become them, there is a part of you that's already that behavior, if you were able to see it. Go and put some action into this thought. You don't have to have people from the internet, people from your screen, reassuring you that that thought that they brought into your mind, that thought that they brought out of your subconscious actually, because it's your thought. You've already had the potential to experience it on your own. They just clicked something within you. You feel like what I do here, my expression, has an effect of bringing some sort of a community and reassurance and relatability into these deep and rare realizations that a lot of young people have. We can understand those things. They're not some metaphysical, crazy, ancient wisdom things, which in a sense they are. Because the core of them, very simple and logical and very traditional. If you really deep it, it's all science. I'm scientifically expressing my realizations right now. But if you really just put a little slight bit of action in there, you can understand that what you see in me is not something that you admire, it's something that is literally in you. Like, you wouldn't be able to hear this. People who comment that I speak nonsense, people who say that, oh, I had this comment that my videos are a bunch of big word diarrhea and I make no sense and it's so cringe that they can't stop watching. Actually warmed my heart a little bit, because imagine being so captivating that someone can't click off. Beautiful. Because you have the right to not relate to what I'm saying. I'm not making this for someone to relate. I'm making this because this is for me. I need expressing like this. People who don't relate to this, they don't have the reflection of me in them. They don't understand the information because it's not planted within them. There's nothing to be brought out of their subconscious to click. But for you, if you feel like what I say is so intrinsically deep and spiritual and speaks to your soul, it's because this is a part of you. That, like, I'm just showing you what's in you. Do you understand? And that's why I don't like when people say that I'm wise or like all those things, which is obviously true. None of these realizations came from easy things. None of these realizations came from easier choices, which it really wasn't even my choice, because I felt like I had no other option. There was no other option for me but to go through this. And it wasn't an intentional plan to get smart and intelligent, to sacrifice all the joy in life and just be intentional. No, I just felt like if I don't do this, there is no purpose in life. This is, again, God's will for me, because I had choice. As a matter of fact, I had choice. I could do this and I could do that. But I felt so miserable in the potential of making a different choice than this that I actually had no choice but to be happy, which required for me to be unhappy, which resulted in smart thoughts. Let's come back to when I said that I measure success in life experience in social interactions. Community and people. When I say community and people, I feel so warm in my heart. You know, obviously there is a lot of things that we are living this life for. The main play field of where we can use our purpose. Worshiping God, being the best version of yourself, sharing with no profit incentive, all of those amazing, beautiful, just experiencing a smile. The main play field is community. You can't do it without it. And let's remember how I said that I prefer being alone. I prefer being alone most of the time because I don't really have the right community. Day to day. Still. You saw all my glamorous stories and all the people that I'm surrounded with. That's beautiful, and I'm so blessed and so grateful. But if we're talking immediate interactions, I spend my days in my room still. Never trust social media. My life didn't just change like this. It's still in the process. I'm still alchemizing my thoughts. I'm still pushing myself to grow further. It's still just starting to come together, which I'm very grateful for, because this process isn't rushed. This process isn't a overnight success. You're witnessing everything with me. And now let's talk about missing people, because this experience is not just missing people. I'm not missing anyone in particular. I'm not thinking about one person or two people or a group of people and thinking, oh, I miss them. Not this type of missing. You miss someone or you want something, not because they have something that you don't have. That's kind of limerence, you know? When I was exploring the topic of limerence, when I was deeply in it a few months ago, it's like you are obsessing over an idea. You're not in contact with this thing or person, and you develop an obsession because they have something that you don't have that you would like to have. It could be lifestyle, it could be money, it could be access to something, incredible swag. You want to be around them, you want to be them. And missing someone is kind of the same but a little bit different. It's when you want what they have back because it's so in you. You saw it. You've been able to interpret a situation, make a narrative out of it. It was this thing that you saw in them brought something back from your subconscious into your front vision, and you're able to read it now and want it and seek it and miss it. Because it is a part of you that was taken away from your immediate interaction space. They were able to bring something back from within yourself. So now that they're gone, or now that they're not in your space, or now that you're not experiencing human interactions or whatever happened, you're like, oh, I miss this feeling within myself. But while they were with you, you wouldn't be able to feel it in their company without you already having it within you, without their company. Do you see what I mean here? So it has been within you all of this time. Their company caused it to be brought back from the depth of your soul, which is so beautiful on like a human level. Like we are so interlinked, everyone. I'm not talking romantically or I'm not talking about none of that. Just think about this. We are so interlinked that something that someone is, they are not aware of the existence of their essence, the memory that you have of them. Something that someone is so intrinsically in you and rooted within who you are, that their presence brings it up. And when they're gone, you miss this feeling within yourself. You miss this part of you that's gone with them. So what you can do is meditate deeply on it. Meditate on your worthiness. Pray for your wholeness. Pray for feeling complete and at peace within yourself, and being and just learn how to be able to bring back those beautiful parts of you that these people inspire. That now that they're gone, these parts are difficult to access. But you can create your character. The most important lessons that I got from Limerence were around important in evolution of your character. It's like, yo, this is showing me who I can be, and I can build my personality in a way that is what I've never had physically. I can develop traits that will give me access to those things that I thought I didn't have, but I saw in that opportunity. I saw in that thing. I saw in that job offer. I saw in that person. I saw in that thing that I was obsessed with. But Because I saw that I have it within me to even feel connected to this concept, I can build traits, can build my character to make these things accessible to be on my own. Shaping your environment to be something that you actually want it to be because someone's existence inspired it. Someone's inaccessibility, someone's non-presence within your space inspired you to bring these things out of your subconscious and materialize certain opportunities in your life on your own. So I feel like having people in your life is such a beautiful thing. And not having access to people in your life is such a beautiful thing, because whether you are in their company or you aren't in their company, just having something tingle in your soul after thinking about someone or a group of people or a concept or a community is such a beautiful feeling. It can inspire a lot of action. It can inspire a lot of thoughts. It can inspire a lot of art. It can inspire a whole different era of growing a personality, growing your life, expanding. So I'm very grateful for every single experience of that sort. This video was extremely chaotic and I hope I made sense. I went into all the different directions I could. I literally started off talking about Ramadan. Then I went into, now I don't even remember what I talked about, but you can pick and choose what you see in me that you like or hate, and then pick and choose what to do with this. You can see me, right? You can watch this video and see how chaotic I am in my expression. And internally, not judgmentally, not like you're a bad person and you're judging, but obviously we have thoughts in our mind. Like, oh my God, she's so chaotic. That autism in her, she's a yapper, or, some thoughts like that. That's okay. Objective. And you can see that and understand that that's within you. You are seeing this. You're understanding this. You're noticing that I'm a yapper because you're a yapper. You know what I mean? So what do I do with this? Do I become a yapper? Do I become more of an intentional yapper? How can I utilize my yapping capabilities? Because not everyone is a yapper. That is a curse and a blessing. This showed you a part of you. And what to do with this is completely your choice. Just like missing someone, just like obsessing over someone, just like being in the company of someone that you love, every single time frame of interacting with a human being is showing you a part of you that has already been there all your life. People are just there to bring up things from the depth of your subconscious, from the depth of your soul, to experience this life more fully. But everything is your choice. This was beautiful.